about to have a conversation. Now, this particular conversation it concerns everybody. Let me talk about especially the people in the entertainment industry. In recent times, we've seen this new trend of lookalikes. We've seen some young men come out to say they look like celebrities. I don't know if anybody has come out to say they look like DJ Azonto yet, and I don't know what he will do if somebody says he looks like him and goes on platforms to perform. We've seen the likes of the lookalike of Kuami, Eugene, lookalike of what's it called, Mr. Drew, lookalike of Medikal, lookalike of Kitty, lookalike of several others. Now, in recent, another thing that we are seeing is the performances. They are mountain stages to perform. They claim they don't take money. But how sure are we that they don't take money? What are the legal implications with regards to these young men claiming to be lookalikes of these celebrities? And how is it affecting the celebrities positively or negatively? And so today we have to talk about it, and helping us with this particular conversation are experts. So talking about legal implications, we ought to bring a lawyer here. And so our lawyer for today is Godwin Selassie Owusu Esquire. He is a lawyer with Robert Smith Law Group. Good morning. Good morning. And also our very own Kuami Dazi, who is a host of Showbiz A to Z. Now, Kuami has been a pundit for God knows how long, and he's very vocal when it comes to these things. He knows everything about entertainment industry. But before then, I know we have some videos that we have to show you for you to know what we are talking about. We're talking about some, these. Okay, we'll put the videos out as our conversations go on. But let me ask our questions, our general questions, and the mixed feelings that are going on with regards to those who are seeing, these lookalikes. Let's take a look at the very first video, and then we continue with our conversation.
Hey, Mr. Drew, come on, we have to come. King, Mumra, hey, the 4 kings. Ace.
So it's trending, actually. Did you see Mr. Drew, Medikal, all of, I don't know. But I'm not too excited whenever I see these things. Some people might be. Now, let me ask you, Kuami, entertainment pundit, whenever you see these videos, what's your take on it?
It's intriguing. Yes, seeing somebody who looks like, or who claims looks like an original artist is very intriguing. It's not the first time we're seeing this. I think about 2 years ago, we saw the very first Kuami Eugene in Kumasi, with Kuami Eugene in Angel FM studios. And I even saw Kuami Eugene perform with him on the same stage. And then later, I heard that he was booked to perform at a show and he didn't turn up. Yeah, so that was about 2 years ago. And then now we're seeing all these kin promises. And you see, the interesting part is that some of them don't even look like the people they say they look like Kim Promise, the emaciated Kim Promise. You look at him and you are, is it the 5'5" alone? You see, but I could see that people are enjoying them on social media because the consumption on social media is high. Go on TikTok, go on IG, go on Facebook, and the same people complaining are the same people consuming their videos on social media. Now, if these guys are not using whatever they are doing on social media to get money from people, I don't see anything wrong with it, because they are not damaging the brands of the original if they're just putting out videos like these ones that we are seeing on social media.
But they are becoming overnight celebrities, overnight sensations as well.
Yes, but to me, I don't see them as people who are causing threats to the original ones if they don't mount stages to perform and take money. Yesterday, I saw one video of another one. I don't know if he's the Kuami Eugene we saw in this video.
He's the one.
Because I've seen about 3 Kuami Eugenes already. The one in Kumasi, the one we saw here, and there is another one. I saw this Kuami Eugene in a video performing to an audience, and the audience was actually cheering him on, like singing along to the Kuami Eugene songs. And where it becomes a problem is when they perform the original artist's songs. So you see the person looking like Kuami Eugene or Kiddy or King Promise or Medikal singing their songs.
Talking about that, let me bring the legal implications with regards to what he's saying. So this is the video of, you know, the lookalike of Kuami Eugene performing to a crowd. I don't know if it's a school or something, but he's actually performing and he's giving all the mannerisms like a Kuami Eugene. You even see him having a hype man, meaning it's a complete stage performance.
It was for free. It was a free show or something.
Let me bring you in here. As a lawyer, what are the legal implications of being a lookalike of a celebrity?
Okay, so first and foremost, being a lookalike in and of itself is not illegal because you don't control who you look like. But it's the activities of these persons and the intention behind these things that could lead to criminal liability or civil liability. For instance, if I personate or I make a representation for you to think I'm Kuami Eugene, and based on the representation, and I procure your consent, and you part with, or you part the ownership of a property or money, that could be a criminal liability because that could amount to defrauding by false pretense. Because defrauding by false pretense under Act 29, which is the Criminal Act, under Section 132 talks about the fact that you make a representation of all pretenses to suggest that you are someone for the person or someone to part with a property. So once you go elsewhere, let's say for example you can't do that in Accra, but you go to a village, you get someone to think you are Kuami Eugene and or Mr. Drew, and the person parts with a property or money, then you could be held liable for defrauding by false pretense. And that's a second degree felony. And offenses which include dishonesty can lead to about a sentence of about 20 years. That is the criminal side. Now there are civil implications. So there are two aspects. There are general activities in the copyrighted product of the artist, let's say music. With regards to copyright, artists have performance rights, and the owners of the economic rights, which are those who created original work, are those who can give you license or permission to perform their songs. Now, when you mount stage and you mislead people or make it look as though you are performing their song, then you are likely to infringe their performance rights. And infringement can lead to fines, and it can lead to a jail term of about 5 years.
If we talk about fine, how much fine are we looking at?
It depends. The court makes such a determination, looking at the activities in general. So the court make a determination of how much fines should be charged against the person who infringed this copyright.
These young men are also going from radio stations, television stations, granting interviews, enjoying this whole celebrity status that has, you know, come on them. Is there a legal implication to that as well? Okay,
so that dovetails into the next civil aspect that I want to talk about. So at common law, we have something we call passing off. Passing off essentially suggests that you are selling your product as that of someone who is already established. So with passing off, you are likely to mislead the public that this product is yours when it is not yours. In Ghana, we have we have the Protection Against Unfair Discrimination Act 589. Act 589 makes provision for some of these things. So it talks about causing confusion in the minds of the public, I think Section 1. Then misleading the public or damaging the public with regards to celebrities. So it specifically mentions celebrities, and that umbrella word has artists to be part of it. So when you are making a business or activities that is likely to cause confusion in the minds of the public, that, oh, they are not sure whether you are Kuami Eugene or you are not Kuami Eugene, or you are Mr. Drew or you are King Promise, then you are causing confusion. You are likely to damage their brand, goodwill, and reputation from these activities, because your activities generally makes the goodwill they've already built over this long period of time gets diluted.
But this this a case whereby they are not saying they are Kuami Eugene? They are not saying they are Mr. Drew. They say they are lookalikes. So in that aspect, is this, can this be criminalized as well? So
that's the criminal aspect I mentioned earlier. That is the point where it amounts to defrauding by false pretense. But the civil aspect is what I'm explaining now, that it could lead to unfair competition. But they say they are not the people. They are saying they are not, but they are responding to it when they are called Kuami Eugene. They are using some of their mannerisms. Because when you take an artist, the brand involves a lot of things. Artists spend a lot on PR, their image, their mannerisms, their slogans and all these things, right? And they all form their goodwill and reputation over a period of time. Now, when you are you are doing activities that is likely to dilute. Diluting means that you are reducing the distinct nature of their goodwill. So we know King Promise. Now you have somebody who may not even say he or she is King Promise, but their acts, what they do in public, granting interview, everything, may dilute the goodwill and reputation King Promise has built over the years. Okay. Now you are also likely to cause confusion in the minds of the public, because you may be saying that you are not Mr. Drew, but someone somewhere does not know that you are not Mr. Drew. All these things leads to unfair competition for which the act frowns against. And in such instances, with regards to the civil implication, there are two major reliefs that artists can seek. So the first one is seeking damages. So you could bring a case to court, asking the court to award you damages for I'll come to the damages. Okay. Let me get the general implications, Kuami. You have been in the entertainment industry for a very long time. Yeah. And let's talk about the damages that this can cause an artist, because we are seeing them perform. We are seeing them, there's a tweet that even a whole, artist tweeted, and it read, let me try and get the tweet. And this tweet the Sarkodie, it says, there's a way out. Called some of my superstars to pull up for the Jams World Tour. They gave me mad attitudes plus ridiculous fees. So then he added the amen sign and said #jokes. Although he did #jokes, people will misquote, people will misunderstand. Then he actually had a video of these, lookalikes in there.
I even heard some of them say that, even Sarkodie has posted us. So more or less like Sarkodie validating what they are doing. Now, I know there are some event organizers in the hinterlands who may go for these artists because they can't maybe
afford a Kuami Eugene or Mr. Drew,
the original artist. So there is that side as well. And I'm not very sure if these event organizers can come out and say, yes, maybe we pay them this amount of money or it was for free. But they do that. And I mentioned the typical example of the first Kuami Eugene Kumasi, where he was booked to perform at a show and he didn't turn up. So you are lurking in the shadows of an original artist. And if you do this, you are tarnishing their brand in a way. So that is one side of it. That Lumba and DL Jr. example is one that we can always cite. And in that particular instance, we remember how DL Jr., apart from the physical appearance, sounded like Lumba, sang his songs like him. And at a point in time, I think he performed with Lumba.
Oh, he did not a point. He performed a lot.
Okay. Yeah. And so he used that to say, oh, daddy, me daddy, me daddy. So people thought there was a relationship between the two of them. Now, it came to a time where Lumba thought, no, it was becoming too much. This guy, if I don't take care, he will use my image to maybe dupe people or take money on my behalf. And so he went to his lawyers and then asked them to let the guy stop using his name, his image and everything. And he stopped. But you see, I think what I am worried about is the fact that these original artists are not talking about this at this point in time. Medikal is not talking, King Promise, everybody has kept quiet. But are they waiting for something bad to happen before they step in? Or they think it's just fun these guys are having? We will be here one day, and then if something happens, these same people will come crying. Maybe a Kuami, Eugene, or a Kidi will come crying like, oh, Charlie, the guy, somebody has used my name to go dupe somebody. Are we waiting for that time to come? I'm not sure we are waiting for that. I don't have a problem with the guys having fun, but I think that we should educate people to know the implications of what they're doing. If we don't do that, a time may come when we will be here again to find more solutions to the things they are doing. And that is why it is important that we have a legal mind here to also educate us, because I've seen and heard people say that, oh, you guys cry, you are worrying yourself because you go to the US, we have people imitating Michael Jackson. They are called tribute acts. And so there are event organizers elsewhere in the US who even contract them. But I'm sure they have formalities in place where maybe you can pay these organizers, or these companies can pay some royalties to the original artist, because they are companies. And once you perform ASCAP, BMI, and all those performance right organizations, they take these royalties on behalf of the event organizers. Even in Ghana, Gamro is supposed to do that, but are they able to do that at all the events? That is the problem. So I think that we are educating the people. We are not condemning totally, because there is the difficulty of even the law telling us if this is really legally right or wrong, because you keep saying likely. It's me, likely. So that's and that is the confusion.
Yes, so it's like the likely,
Yes.
I can go sing somebody's song karaoke. Like I say, I'm a lookalike. It's not, like you said, there's nothing wrong with me being a lookalike. God created me like this, and this is who I am. Yes, I'm a lookalike. I go and I'm singing a song, and somebody
maybe you should disclaimer. This is not Kuami, Eugene. I'm just a lookalike.
So you see how the law is, right? It is not like one solution fits all. So with regards to the copyright work, like the music of an artist, for example, someone could say that they could use the defense of fair use, that, oh, I just use it for karaoke and all that. But the issue is that with regards to our Act Axis 90, there are things that have been identified to constitute fair use. But beyond that, there are factors that are taken into consideration. First is that what is the purpose of what you are doing? Is it for monetary gain? Is it for profit or for non-commercial basis? Then what is the nature of the copyrighted work? Is it something that takes creativity, or is a factual situation that you do not need to take so much of creativity into consideration? Now, the other aspect is that, the other factor is that, what portion of the copyrighted work are you using? Are you using a substantial part? And the most important one, in my opinion, is the effect it has on the market or the economic earnings of the creator of the original work. Now, if you take these factors and just oppose it against somebody just doing karaoke, I don't think it has that much impact on the economic earnings of the person. So we could say that it is fair use. But in issues, or in this particular instance, it is, the activities are such that you may not even need the actual artist again. Even though you are issuing a disclaimer that you are not the artist, you are still performing his songs.
In this instance, as an artist, what do I do? Okay.
So in this, there are, as I mentioned earlier on, there are reliefs that you can seek from the court. So the first one is that when there's an infringement under copyright law, which is the specific use of your products or your original work without your permission, you can bring a copyright infringement action against them, where you get compensated. With regards to the unfair competition, you can bring an action for injunction to even prevent them from all the activities that they are involving themselves in. You could also ask for damages.
So the unfair competition is what?
So as I explained earlier, unfair competition is supposed to generally protect the works of businesses, individuals. It even includes celebrities, your goodwill in the work you've done, your reputation you've built over a period of time. So it is supposed to protect you from people benefiting from it without the procedure that they are supposed to go through. That's why I explained earlier on that from the act, you could, whatever act you are doing, that could cause confusion in the minds of the public. Could lead to unfair competition if you are misleading or diluting the distinctive nature of the work. So we only know one King Promise. Now we have someone who is acting like King Promise, is reducing or diluting the distinctiveness. So when you bring all this together, you can bring an action and could even ask for damages. And the damages, general one, where the court could make a determination that from X, Y activities they've done, we are awarding you this damage. Or if you're able to establish that they've done A, B, C, D, and because of that you've lost X amount of, which is a specific amount of money, then the court can award you a special damage.
Right. This conversation concerns everybody because I know that most of these celebrities have a huge following. Let's get interactive. Do send in your messages on our social media portals. We are streaming live on Facebook. Leave your messages there. You can also send in your message on our WhatsApp number. We'll be glad to read it. We want all your questions here. And if you have any contribution with regards to these lookalikes that have been trending in recent times and even gone ahead to perform songs on platforms that the originals are supposed to be on, and you have any feelings about it, just send your messages and let's read it on air. Definitely will be glad to read this. You were saying injunction somewhere as well.
Yes, so injunction is supposed to prevent them from holding themselves out or participating activities that may look as though they were the artists that they are trying to be or who they look like. So the court could restrain them from doing all these activities like performing and all these things.
Wow.
So let me come to, the general public here with regards to these. We've seen them performing. The injunction hasn't been given yet. Today, I also chanced on a poster that, Links Entertainment has called the young man performing as though he's Kuami Eugene to order.
Oh, they have?
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
A phone call. Not a statement. We haven't seen a statement, a phone call. Now, something like this, is it a step in the right direction, or they should just issue a statement to stop the young man?
I think it's right, for starters, it's right, just to caution them. And I could see that they are scared because I saw a video, or I think they did a live video yesterday. So I saw the King Promise, the Kuami Eugene, the Medikal saying, oh, Medikal said, I don't know how to rap, we're just having fun and all that. And so you could see they are scared now. And that is the beginning. I like that. But I think that they should channel the attention they are getting into creating something else. If you think that you are an artist and you look like Kuami Eugene or Kiddy or King Promise, it's about time, now that you have the attention and the numbers, you bring out your song. If you think you are good, promote the song, in your own brand and image. Why do you want to hide under somebody's shadows to be an artist?
But
if you believe in yourself.
With what you're saying,
yes.
I need a little bit of understanding. Is there going to be a legal implication? Because you started off imitating me. You got the numbers from there. Now you want to be you.
That is why.
So I'm using my own name now. No more Kiddy Junior. No more King Promise Junior.
You grew to be who you are because you impersonated me. You came out to say you're a lookalike of me, and that's how you got your numbers. Now after that, you want to be you.
Yes. That's why I explained earlier on that's why these artists and their management have to act timeously. For instance, the Links situation is a step in the right direction. You can actually issue a stop and disease letter to actually ask them to stop. Because at the end of the day, this is very dangerous. As I was explaining earlier of Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he actually organized, there was like a competition of his lookalikes. He himself participated and lost. Dolly Parton, she also made mention of the fact that there was a lookalike competition for her, and she also participated and lost. This is to suggest that even the main people or celebrities who have their lookalikes are losing such things. So it is very difficult to control. So as an artist or a management of an artist, I think it's better you take a step once they've started doing things or having activities that may end up being unfair competition to your brand, then you have to take a step. You don't wait till things get out of hand before
you do that.
Yes.
Okay, so there's another message coming in. Lookalikes are contravening the copyright law. They should be banned. Another legal aspect is the issue of impersonation, which is criminal.
As I explained earlier on, so the issue of impersonation comes under the Criminal Act, which is Section 131. 132 defines impersonation, where you misrepresent to someone that you are X, or you could even use your name, but once you make the person think you are someone else, and based on that representation, the person parts with the ownership of a property, or even with money, then it becomes criminal. Then it amounts, or it may amount to defrauding by false pretense. As I explained earlier on, it is a second-degree felony. But because it involves dishonesty, you could serve jail term up to about 20 years.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because offenses bordering on dishonesty, like stealing, robbery, or take serious punishment. So it could lead to about 20
Well,
years.
this particular message is quite interesting. Maybe you and I should not look at Kuami as I read this one. It says, the journalist pundit, that's Kuami, your studio himself looks like Kuami A+.
No, so I want to go out to perform his songs. I'll call myself Kuami A-.
Yeah, it's like your minority men antics all looks like Kuami A+.
I've heard that a lot.
You have?
Yeah. Do you also have your lookalike?
I think everybody
Not yet.
has
I think everybody does.
But the difference is you haven't said you are a lookalike of Kuami A+, and you are not...
People are saying that.
You are not trying to grow out of his, his
And
brand. Commercialize yourself.
I want to do that now.
You could spend up to 20 years still there.
I
don't know. Okay, so let me see. I think there was another message that came in. Okay, good morning, Sister Roslyn. This is Rich Love from Kaswa. I love you so much. Oh, okay. I love you too, Rich Love. Thank you so much for sending your messages. These impersonators, no one annoys me past the one impersonating Medikal.
Somebody says he has zero talent.
All right, so, some of these things, we laugh over them, but like we said, there are a lot of implications to this. So a step in the right direction, like you said, a phone call is the first thing, and the second thing is you take the person to court, right?
You could even issue a stop and disease letter, because at the end of the day, when you go to court, it's about what you can prove. So you should document the correspondence with them. It could even be through an email, and find a way to communicate to them that they should stop.
So what are they supposed to stop? The lookalike?
No, so as I explained earlier, you have no control over
how you look.
Okay.
But then again, it is not very developed here, but it is closely related, image and likeness. We may look alike, but we have distinct personalities.
Okay.
So these celebrities have honed their identity over a long period of time. Their mannerisms, their attributes, their slogans they use, all these things make up their persona, like even their persona.
So they should stop that.
So stop mimicking these things, or stop trying to benefit off their identities.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. Super grateful. And this conversation definitely is insightful. I wish we had all day, but unfortunately we don't have. But thank you so much. Super grateful. Our lawyer for today has been Godwin Selassie Owusu, who is a lawyer with Robert Smith Law Group. And of course, Kwame Dazi, our host for Showbiz A to Z. And if you're out there and you want to impersonate somebody, be very careful, because you could spend up to 20 years jail term. And of course, as artists out there, for your management, please try and put a stop to these things. You might take it as a joke and laugh over it today, but there are a lot of implications to it. Thank you so much for watching Prime Morning. I didn't do this alone. Of course, Esiedua was here. My name is Roslyn Felly, and a big thank you to the production team for putting this together and giving us an awesome week. When you go out there, make sure you talk about Joy Prime. And this Sunday, Cues and Lyrics will be on television at exactly 8:30 p.m. Do not miss it. I will not miss it, and I hope you don't miss it as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.